Team Gojo has just made it inside the Jujutsu High's barrier and is finally able to relax and calm down. Geto thanks Gojo for his hard work, but Gojo is just happy that the babysitting is finally over. But suddenly, Gojo notices something. He notices the massive sword sticking out of his stomach. Everyone is shocked as this is supposed to be impossible inside of the Jujutsu High's barrier. However, they quickly come back to reality as Gojo gets away from Toji and Geto summons a cursed spirit before running over to Gojo. Gojo tells him that it's fine and that his cursed technique didn't make it in time, but that he didn't hit any vital organs. Gojo asks Geto to take Amanai to Tengen's place right away as she is the main priority while he takes on Toji. He comes out of Geto's cursed spirit with a meaning look on his face. He asks Gojo where Amanai has gone, saying that he planned on finishing this off in one strike. Gojo tells him that Amanai's bounty has already been lifted, but this doesn't come as a surprise to Toji as he was the one to take it down, giving them a false sense of safety. After that, Gojo has had enough of their little conversation, and he attacks Toji. However, Toji was able to repel Gojo's attack. Gojo quickly says that it's not just his speed, but something else, and it's the fact that he has zero cursed energy, and because of that, Gojo is unable to read his moves. Toji goes back into attack mode as he jumps to Gojo, but ends up getting sent into a building. Gojo knows that Toji has to have something in mind, and that it probably has something to do with his cursed tool. But just then, he notices that Toji has escaped. Gojo can't sense him, and relying on his instinct would be too dangerous, so he instead tries to sense the energy of that cursed spirit wrapped around him. But it doesn't really help him because Toji is incredibly fast. This leaves Gojo with no choice but to use his cursed technique, Azure Glow, at maximum energy output. To clear himself from getting hit with a surprise attack, he obliterated every building in sight. However, Toji is still nowhere in sight, having only left the forest. As he looks over to the forest, he sees a bunch of fly heads coming toward him. This leaves Gojo with no way of locating Toji's position. However, Gojo doesn't have to wait for long as Toji shows himself behind Gojo with a new cursed tool called the Inverted Spear of Heaven, whose effect forces the stoppage of a cursed technology. And with Gojo caught off guard, Toji is able to stick it up right in his throat, but he doesn't stop there as he drags it across Gojo's body and inflicts multiple hits on Gojo's body, making Gojo fall to the ground. After that, we get to the bottom of Jujutsu High, where Kuroi says goodbye to Riko as she can't go any further, and they share a really emotional moment. Geto continues with Riko to the main hall of the Tombs of the Star. Geto tells her to go down the stairs and past the gate, then head toward the base of that huge tree, which is protected by a different barrier, through which only those invited may enter, and after that, she will be protected by Tengen. Or she can turn back and return home with Kuroi. This shocks Rick before Geto explains that when they were assigned this mission, their teacher only referred to the merger as an erasure, and that both he and Gojo came to a decision before meeting Riko, which was that if the kid who is the star plasma valve should refuse the merger, then they would call it off. Geto laughs before telling Gojo that if they call it off, they might have to fight Master Tengen, but that isn't any of their worry as they are the strongest. Anyway, this makes Riko super happy as she starts crying and says that she wants to be with everyone. She wants to go more places and see more things with everyone. Just as Geto reaches out his hand to her and tells her to go home, she unfortunately gets a bullet sent right through her head. He looks over to the side and sees Toji and asks why he is here. Toji coldly tells him that he is here because he killed Gojo, which makes Geto go into attacking mode right off the bat as he summons this kind of dragon-like creature and sends it at Toji, which isn't to any use as he dodges it. After that, Geto asks Toji what happened to Kuroi, and Toji tells him that she is probably dead, which fuels Geto's anger even more as he uses his dragon once again. However, this time Toji straight up kills it. They continue their fight before everything goes black for Toji, and he sees a lady asking him if she is pretty or not. Toji quickly understands that it's an imaginary Venegigal spirit, an innate domain with a pact that cannot be broken until the question is answered. So he tells her that she looks interesting, but she isn't his type. And after that, she pulls out some kind of weapon and scratches Toji's face with it, but that doesn't last very long as he sees through her tricks and neutralizes her attack. But just then, Geto comes behind Toji and is ready to attack, but just as he is about to go in for it, his attack gets repelled, which gives Toji the chance to take out his knife and cut up Geto with it. As he kicks the wounded Geto to the floor, he tells him that he would have killed him if he were a Shikigami user. But since he's a curse manipulator, Toji doesn't know what will happen with the curses Geto has taken in if he dies, and he would rather avoid the trouble for now. However, Toji doesn't stop there, as he decides to roast them before leaving, and tells them that even though they were blessed, they still lost a monkey like him who can't even use Jujutsu. and tells them to keep that in mind if they want to live a long life. Toji then travels to the headquarters of the Star Religious Group, where he frees Riko from his cursed spirit. The representative of the Star Religious Group, Shigeru Sonoda, says that it is indeed the real deal. He tells Toji that he will receive his money shortly, and that he will even add a little extra for his troubles. After that, Toji leaves with the other guy, and Toji asks him if he wants to grab some food, but the other guy sees right through Toji as he wasn't planning on paying anything. So Toji leaves by himself, but not long after he gets accompanied by none other than Gojo. Toji is shocked to see Gojo standing in his way before he reveals that he used the reverse curse technique to heal up. When Toji stabbed Gojo through the throat, he gave up fighting and instead focused everything he had into a reverse curse technique. Toji thinks he's just rambling on, but Gojo doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon, as he tells Toji that this was the first time he was able to use that technique. However, just as he was about to die, he understood the core of cursed energy. And he doesn't stop there because he also tells Toji that he lost and that he should have cut his head off. However, Toji is confused by what Gojo means by lost as the battle is just beginning. And Gojo starts to laugh in a very scary way, telling Toji that he is right. And so the fight begins again with Toji rushing over to Gojo and attacking him with his knife. However, Gojo was able to jump up in the sky to firstly avoid Toji's attack, but also create his own attack cursed technique reversal, Red, which Toji took head on, making him fly into a building. However, he got some praise from Gojo, as he calls Toji a monster. After that, Toji says that his bones hurt like hell, but none of that will stop him. When he looks up, he sees Gojo casually floating in the air, before saying that it will work, and that he will kill Gojo as he starts swinging his knife around. While Toji is focused on his killing thoughts, Gojo thinks about something else as he apologizes to Amanai. He isn't angry on her behalf because he doesn't hate anyone. However, everything he is feeling right now is the pleasantness of this world, and as he says that, Toji starts his attack by throwing rooks at Gojo. Gojo evades it, but gets another attack right off the bat as Toji sends his chain to him. While this is happening, Gojo decides to simply put a pause on the fight, and then explain the good thing about jujutsu techniques that have been passed down over generations, which is that the instructions on their use of were clarified by their predecessors. The bad thing is that information about the technique can be leaked much more easily. He thinks that Toji is from the Zenin clan, that he knows about blue and red, and even about his infinity. However, even among the Goju clan, only a select few know about the emission of imaginary mass occurs when the infinity collides with the forward and reverse rotation techniques. The imaginary technology, which we get to see now, as Gojo uses his strongest attack, Purple, on Toji, which blows away a large portion of Toji's body. Gojo asks him if he has any last words, but Toji says that he doesn't, as he thinks about Megumi in his final moments, and says that in 2 or 3 years, his kid will get sold to the Zenin clan, and he tells Gojo to do whatever he wants with that. And that's Jujutsu Kaisen's greatest battle. This fight was something incredible. The way we got to see the madman Toji going all out against a savage and cold Gojo was something you don't get to see every day. However, I am interested in hearing what you thought about this match, so please let me know down in the comments. Do you think this is the best fight in all of Jujutsu Kaisen? Or do you have another favorite? By the way, I just want to let you know that this was my first Jujutsu Kaisen video ever, and if you liked it and want me to continue on with the series, then please let me know what you want me to talk about in the next video. And if you like Jujutsu Kaisen and videos like this, I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment or a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day.